Hello, hello, and welcome. Thank you for joining us for another UKEL Division 1 speciality featuring Eversio. We really need to pick up the pace as we are currently 1 is to 3. We did manage to win a victory at least in this Division 1, but we should be better representing our position. So let's really hope Eversio can pick the win today. Hashtag Everwin in chat. Today, for a change, I will not have Cardona casts with me, but I will have Nano at Tech. Hello, Nano. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, hello, hello.
All
I'm an
right.
avid Eversio fan and amateur caster, excited for the game today. Like you said, hoping that Eversio is able to secure another win.
Yes, thank you, Nano. I'm sure your casting abilities will more than suffice for today's match. We are facing Venomcrest. In theory, the worst has already been played against, so I hope we can successfully pick up a nice win. However, in Division 1, everyone has been sort of tough in their own regard. So let's see. Um, let's see, we have some people hashtagging in the chat. Um, Not sure how long this draft will take before we start. We are still waiting on, I believe, Starforger to join the lobby. And yeah, from there we can kind of start off the draft. Any idea have you been following the previous UKEL games, Nano?
I've been seeing bits and pieces there, here and there. I watched fully the game they just had before this one, and I also saw the Corky Jungle game, which was something to see, something to see. Uh, I will say this. I think without sort of flaming Aversio too much, I feel like they can. I've seen them play a lot better. And I believe in this team, and I think they can, if they pick up the pace, even win the games that they've lost. So again, I'm really rooting for them to do a lot better, and hopefully, from this point on, sort of just keep securing wins. But we'll see.
Yeah, Nano and myself are both Eversio fans, so we are looking forward to them winning. Cardona is letting me know in the chat that Venomcrest are the favorite of the tournament. So this might just be another train wreck to watch our heroes in blue go through, but it can also be a potential for them to shine, to redeem back what has been lost in our morale, sort of. But let's see. Um, uh, Hopefully, in a few short minutes, we can see this draft. I think draft-wise, Everso are doing really well. It's just more maybe execution or just the pace of the games have really not gone our way, to be honest. So yeah, hopeful for today.
If there's something I've noticed, at least from the games, it's they're not playing their mid game as well as they usually do. I think, generally speaking, when you look at Eversio, the number one strength that they have is they have a really tight knit mid game, and they're sort of. I feel like they've just been dropping the ball a bit, which is not something you'd expect from them. So, I mean, who knows? This is a new day. It's a new game, and maybe here we can sort of see a very well put together and well executed mid game that hopefully leads us to a win. Uh, if Venomcrest, of course, are the favorite of the tournament, I'd like to at least see a damn good game, if not a win over them, to sort of redeem the last few losses. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited for today's match.
Good, good. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see this lineup of Eversio, but maybe in the next UK. Yeah, they are they are really good players, but they need some time to get used to each other, in my opinion. They're still relatively new with the current format they are running, so hopefully we can put it together. I've seen them playing games and still participating, trying to tighten those screws and like become more sharper, quicker thinking. So yeah, I'm rooting for them. Of course, I would like them to go to the next level as well, or at least minimum maintain their Division 1 spot. Something nice for the Maltese community, I think, to vouch for them. Let's see it. Venom Crest. What do you think? We have first pick this time for Eversio. In a best case scenario, any idea what they might pick here?
I mean, it really depends. I will say this. due to sort of the way that the meta has shifted, first pick is sort of a double-edged sword. On one hand, you can pick these champions who you're either very comfortable into playing into anything, or if I see, maybe you can also play these champions where you don't want the enemy team to pick them, so you take them yourself. But due to this being more of a solo lane meta rather than a sort of bot lane meta, first pick is a bit tricky. Uh, you know, you can either pick sort of champions who you're just fully comfortable on. I know that Iglos has a particularly very good GP, and that's always a champion you can sort of blind. He does have counters, but I feel like he's a relatively okay champion to blind. But yeah, I mean, we'd have to see what happens. We'd have to see what bans, and we'd have to see what sort of team comp they're looking to draft against Venomcrest.
Yeah, I see Starforger has joined the lobby, so this might not take us too long before we get into draft. Um, Thing is that Eversio don't really play much of these sort of over the top champions. They used to have a way in with Yasuo and Yon since Drakur kind of wanted to play that, but nowadays so I've never seen them, for example, play Skarner or potentially other strong champions. I don't know, something like, I know you're not a fan, but I'm really a fan of like the Aurora first pick as well. I still think she's a very very strong champ. Um, some house
I
favorites.
think it's doable. I think Aurora is one of these few champs where there's very few champions who really neutralize her. Although I will say I think in more of a competitive setting, Aurora is a lot more blind pickable. I think the champion itself, sort of the way that it functions, you sort of just ult in and you play around more as a utility burst. So I mean I agree with you. I think Aurora mid cannot be played. Something else that I think is arguably very strong and could be first picked and doesn't have many answers is something like a Cassiopeia. You can flex it 3 lanes. It's incredibly strong in top. It's surprisingly strong bot lane, and of course you can always just play it normally mid. But yeah, I mean, we'd have to see what happens in these first 3 bans, and we'd have to see sort of predicting, what team comp that Venomcrest is picking before Eversio can really, you know, establish what they want to do.
So it's gonna be apparently a 10-minute break before the draft. Okay, I didn't know that since the last match is finished, so we do have to wait 10 minutes. So let me go to the comments. Grantless said that I moved the pull-up bar. Yes, we had the podcast yesterday, and if you can relate, I usually cover it with the white, and that's where we have the podcast. So I had to remove it from the way. And yeah, I'm a bit sore now. So maybe Thursday, okay? I do some more pull-ups for this stream. Everyone commented I need to go deeper, so I hope I can do that for you guys. We are waiting on the broadcast to join before we can draft. Okay. Anyway. Sorry, got me lacking a mic. Oi. I'm really looking forward to this game. I hope it's not as one-sided as maybe Cardona's putting it here with this Venomcrest team being a very strong contender. It really is a point, like, with anyone that's difficult to face, it's like a test of courage as well. Like, if you actually manage to play well or to beat them, it's gonna make you look really good, regardless if they played well or not. In general, beating a better team is very respectable, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, not really much more to say before this draft, but try to think of something. What about our chat? Any idea what maybe we'll be seeing on first pick? I do have the draft lobby open, but yeah, we've yet to begin, as you can see. So this time Versio are on blue side, for those that didn't know. So we'll be banning and picking first here. Like I said, they don't really have too many first pick options. Of course, I imagine if Aurelion Soul will be left open, that's something Eversio are very comfortable playing around. Venomcrest might take it a bit further here. Apparently their mid laner is either Challenger now or used to be Challenger. So maybe they are like, oh, Aurelion Soul, I can deal with him. You can leave him open and ban something else. I don't know. Might be the case. Yeah, I think Cardona has a good point here. First picking this AD carry from Eversio might be something they do. I would think Varus and Jinx are, yes, definitely good first pick options for them in terms of what they like to play. So definitely the case. Yeah, you have any points?
Like like Cardonicus is saying, I mean, AD carry, always a really nice first pick. Generally speaking, when you have this sort of first pick, you want to get a champion which you're comfortable playing into any matchup, and usually this ends up being either AD carries, it can end up being support, sometimes junglers. That's what I mean by sort of like, since this is a more of a solo lane dominated meta, being on blue side and not having that last pick to counter, it is a bit of a double-edged sword. Uh, that said, if I'm being completely honest, there are of course AD carries which do really well as a sort of first pick here. Cardona mentioned Varus, he mentions Jinx. Misfortune is another champion who you can sort of play as this really annoying neutralizing pick where you just rush Bloodthirster and you're sort of unkillable and you can still play aggressive in this early game and have a decent mid with your ult. I mean, it depends. Um, I think it would be incredibly cocky not to ban the Aurelion Sol. I hope they do that because that means we have a crazy game on our hands. And if there's one thing you have to be afraid of when you face Eversio, it is Juan's Aurelion. I mean, this is a champion where like even players like Nemesis just permaban the second they see that Juan's on the enemy team. I mean, it is a seriously good champ in the right hands, and I think Juan does have the right hands. So we'll have to see. Like I said, will we be playing just this full comfort pick of saying, "Hey, we picked this champ, we know we're good on him, and we're gonna play him," or are we gonna play, "Hey, here's a champion I can play against anything," and we just play it?
Yep.
Um, Other than that, I don't really see any other lane you can realistically first pick. So I think it will be an AD carry first pick.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So I imagine they're picking this first pick ADC, and then we'll have to wait and see what Venomcrest do here. Something to mention as well is lineup. We've seen a Eversio with all of different characters here and there. I mean, in terms of players, for today we'll have the sort of, let's call it the new classic roster or the new traditional roster, where it's going to be Iconic and Awaken in bot lane, Starforger mid, Diaglos in the top lane, and Bricoon in jungle. So we'll not be seeing Living Dream today, and it will be Bricoon, so expect picks, usually favoring what he picks. I would like to see more of his Zac. I think he has a very good Zac, and it's a strong champ that is not getting banned at the moment against the Versio. So I think this champ alone is like really solid, and can pair up with pretty much most comps. It does have some countering options, and I'm using this word options as I do not think that he can be hard countered just by pushing him away, but it is one of the options for sure. But he will have it in 3 seconds again, so there you go. Yep. So maybe Zac with like a Jinx or Varus, and then maybe we can see that Senna from Awaken. He's done really well on it as well, and pairs well with the tank Zac and the long range from Varus. I'm just going off the top of my head, but if I manage to predict all these, I'm feeling great. Last 2 picks here, I would imagine them to blind something like the Syndra. I don't think they're gonna blind anything else here, and or maybe Ahri. I don't know how comfortable Mr. Forger is these days on Ahri, but and potentially some kind of a tanky-ish champion as well from top lane, the Maokai, the Ornn. But that's what I would be expecting, or maybe Cassante. We'll have to wait and see. Bands though, I'm not sure. Could be anything, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, realistically, if you're going to be blinding the champ, like you said, just full comfort. I think Syndra, I'm not sure how comfortable Starforger is on Ahri. I know back in the day he used to play quite a bit. You can also just play something that's kind of lane neutralizing, like a Hui, where you just permish off these waves and you sort of scale into being a decent teamfight champ. But yeah, I'm not expecting anything like super crazy. I'm not gonna expect like some secret pocket pick that's gonna come out here. Uh, Honestly, what I really wish from Eversio is just that they pick these champions that they know they're good with, they know they can play, and they just play a clean game. And I think that's the way they're gonna sort of start winning these games again.
Yeah, some debate here is to wait. They're waiting on observers. Nice. Okay, yes. We can draft finally. Let's go. Good.
We've stalled for 10 minutes, lads.
Yes.
Let the draft begin.
So do the Spider-Man happy dance, you know? How was it?
Jan Morales NPC.
Oh yeah. What was it? Um, I need a quote. Give me a quote that he says. No? Come
So
on.
many criminals. I don't know, man.
No.
I don't know what he said.
I like hot dogs. Oi, oi, oi.
I like hot dogs. Yeah, it's Sonic.
New York, here we come.
Oh no, my web's jammed. Yeah, sure. I don't know.
Hello, Lemon. Hello, Mr. Lemon. We love you. Thank you for joining this trip. Oi, oi, oi. I hope your thesis is going well. Good luck, my friend.
He blamed me, so I hope his season is not going well.
Oi, oi, oi.
I hope you get Timo first picked in your games.
Yeah, Timo Jungle. He hates it, huh?
Timo jungle. That's what the Verso needs, bro. The Timo first pick. That's how we win.
Blaze the blaze. Alright, alright. No copyright songs. She will get kicked. Oi, oi, oi. And no. Are they ready for draft? Question mark. Let's see. I feel like it's like World War II and we're in the shelter, just waiting for the bombs to clear off, you know, before we can go back home. Not that, you know, I would be aware of what that feels like, but I can imagine it would feel something similar to this. Anxiously waiting for things to
Waiting in the
happen.
bomb shelter. Meanwhile,
hap-
Juan is playing Aurelion and he W ults over your house.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Unlucky. Unlucky. Or else he's playing his signature Ziggs.
W's over my house and drops his E. Oh no.
W's my house, drops his E in my shelter. GG.
Come on, guys, let's do it. We can't take this anymore. Me
Too
and
much
Nano
anticipation.
are going insane.
They're trying to cook up the craziest of
No.
comps, man. They're gonna play Heimer mid, you know, it's like Velko's AD carry. Yi jungle. Singe top, I guess, and Tona.
Do you smell that, Nano? It smells like
What the dog
burning.
shit.
No.
The Toma just
It smells like
The
burning,
dog.
my friend.
smells like burning. Too much cooking. Too much cooking.
Not really sure what the delays are. At first, you have clicked the ready button.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Venomcrest.
Waiting
Some
for.
might be an observer.
We're waiting for the observers, apparently. So maybe.
I gloss my favorite Maokai player says Ducky Warrior. That's not true. He also plays Ornn sometimes. He also does play the Ornn.
I'm surprised your favorite champ that he plays is Mawakai. I mean, of all the champs.
Waiting on UKL broadcast. It could be. It could be. I'm gonna check if it's actually live real quick. They have in fact started.
So. Oh, we're banning. Okay, okay.
We're in it. Go in it.
Yes. 7 seconds to go. What's the first ban? It is Aurora. Nice ban.
It's a nice ban. It's a nice ban.
Take us
And
through.
there it is. They are respecting it. They are respecting it.
Take us through the banning phase. No. What are you thinking right now?
So we have an Aurora ban. I mean, when you see an Aurora ban, you don't really get much info. Aurora, very strong champion, I would know. It's just incredibly annoying to play against. There's a lot of sneaky things you can do with W. The ult is pretty team fight altering. We do see an Aurelion ban, sort of Venomcrest clearly respecting the fact that, hey, they have fun. Let's not let him. No Star Forger Aurelions for me. As you do see a Victor ban, so we're going very mid lane heavy. Corki once again ban mid. That of course can be flex both bot and mid, but it does seem like mid lane is getting scrounged in what they can actually pick. As we do see a Skarner ban. Skarner is actually one of those sort of, I would argue, semi-soft counters to Zac. Like you said, there's no real way to really shut him down in the jungle. Uh, but I think Skarner, as we do see, Maokai. Oh, that's bad news for our friend, Ducky Warrior. He will not be seeing the Eyegloss Maokai top. Skarner ban on blue side, I agree, is a bit strange. I feel like maybe that's a champion we could have actually picked up. As we will see what will be the first pick here. We're expecting an AD carry. You could again technically pick a support. That is of course Varus. I mean, just bread and butter. Varus respond with Jinx. I mean, this is a average game of League. We are not doing anything crazy, which is again what you want to see.
Yeah,
I think Eversio.
so this is quite predictable, right?
Yeah, so
Varus
far I mean
Jinx.
there's nothing strange.
I would
It's
assume
everything you'd
Venomcrest taking that Lulu or Meteor here, I imagine, but they could also maybe blind some strong jungle here. Let's see. Red side pick.
You could do a few strange things, but realistically, I mean, I'd imagine just picking a support. Braum here works really well into the Varus. He works decently with the Jinx. We will actually see Wukong. That also works.
Yeah, they did see Brickun run that Wukong recently as well. So it might be their way of saying, hey, we'd rather just take it ourselves.
That is, of course, fair. The Wukong coming out early does allow you at least to find ways you can play around him in your rest of your comp.
So do we see Senna Zac here, which was my kind of pseudo prediction? I think Zac is fine into Wukong. It's not the best, but it's not bad because you deal magic damage.
I think Senna works perfectly fine into Jinx, as we will see Vi, in fact. Okay.
Ooh, I'm not a fan. But
I am completely not a fan of the Vi.
we do have some really good lockdown at least. But against, well, it is Jinx, you know, so it's fine, I guess.
You may need something like a Karma here to at least give like team-wide move speed to sort of help follow up on the Vi, because I am not quite sure what the glue to work with this Vi and Varus will be. You need the champion to sort of bridge the gap. As we do just see Azir locked in. That's
okay. This is looking much nicer, especially with Vi with that early game potential. Azir can scale into that mid to late game, especially if we play around it. So okay,
suddenly this Vi makes a lot more sense.
Well, I mean, Zac could have achieved a very similar result in my opinion, but and scales better.
A lot easier and scaling better. I agree with you completely, but I do not think that Vi is the worst pick you could play here. We do, of course, have top and support left. Leaving support for pick 4 does make me feel like they are actually looking to lock in that Senna. You know, I'm trying to think of what champion you'd really want to keep. B4 or B5 for support, and I think Senna is possibly one of these champs. Maybe, although I'm of course not sure how comfortable Awaken is on. Maybe something, again, like the Karma could still fit, although now with this Azir, you have sort of found a way to bridge the gap between what is Vi doing and what is Varus doing. As we do see Orianna ban. Orianna is a reasonable answer to Azir and would work crazily well with Wukong and even the Cassandra. There are still answers for this Azir. You could technically play, if you're sort of adept at it, something like a Xerath would be a classical counter. I mean, we're not going to see Zed, but of course Zed historically used to be a really good answer. We're not going to see it, so might as well just throw it out. As we do see, Darius banned. They do not want to play against Eyegloss's Darius. We do seem to be just banning top lanes from the side of Venomcrest. I'm curious what this last ban will be. I feel like this will give us a lot of answer on what Eversio is planning to do for this draft.
I really like the Cassandra pickup by Serpents. Oh, sorry, by Venomcrest. I think it's really intelligent because I was expecting Cassandra to be one of the picks Eversio gravitate towards. So Kayle. We do have Ornn open. Yeah, Kayle is such a strong champion at the moment, by the way. Like from the mid lane, honestly, I think it's very slept on. If you max Q, it's really strong, and the meta really favors her. A lot of earlier fights, easy with the towers respawning and stuff like that. I think if you're a really good Kayle, this champion could be problematic. And into Azir, you know.
I am not aware of the tech, so
I swear to God, it's really strong. We go for Akali though. from Venomcrest, a bit of...
I feel like that is a giant misplay on Venomcrest. I do not think Akali works with your comp, but we will see exactly what happens here. The Jinx is now suddenly looking very out of place for the side of Venomcrest. Like,
No,
yes, we have your Wukong.
I mean, it's like your Syndra, right? It's like Akali tries to find one person and bears them. So far, Eversio don't really have a front line, so if it's just Vi, realistically, yeah, Vi is gonna get turbo shut down by this Akali. Rel is better. Some CCs from the side of Eversio here to hold down Akali and maybe the nimble nature even of Cassante. But Rel can face trouble if Cassante ults her in the fights. That could also be an issue here. They might face Eversio.
I think they may need something that can just face Cassante in the side lane. I think they need something
I
that
really
can
want
just fight
Gwen
him.
here. Honestly, I really want Gwen. I think she's pretty good
Gwen?
with Vi and
Of
Rel,
course.
yes.
Okay.
Ah, no, not
Gwen,
Renekton.
no,
Oh my gosh, come on,
no!
guys. Ah,
I feel
okay,
like here
okay.
you needed like the Gwen, you need maybe like a Peor who would have done the exact same thing. I
Ma-
feel like here you need a champion who can just sort of fight this Cassante.
My issue with Renekton here is that he's one of these champs that you really need to play towards. And I would assume that if first you want to play towards Starforger on Azir here, in my opinion. He even has good setup in bot. Renekton is like one of these champs that you really, really need to play for. And against Cassante, I mean, realistically, okay, he gets like a kill, 2 kills, but is it gonna shut down Cassante? No. In this team, against Venomcrest, you want to shut down this Akali and Jinx the most. I think these are your priority. Jinx more than Akali, because the comp really relies on her getting that reset. And getting this Azir fed, getting Starforger ahead with 2 items, get him on board. I really expect that from them, so...
Realistically, even getting this Varus ahead will bring so much value to the team that sort of drawing the jungler's attention to top lane with this Renekton really, again, just like you're saying, plays against what you want to do. If anything, you'd want to sort of leave top lane to be this sort of like brawl fight fest against Cassante, where you're essentially just trading waves back and forth while you're playing around your mid and bottom and maybe joining for some sort of big team fight, or just playing towards the split push and sort of playing the pressure game. Now, split pushing, of course, has been heavily nerfed. It's not exactly the best tactic to do, especially in competitive games where teams are more organized. But I do think it did have a place in this game, and so I'm a bit confused, like you're saying, on the Renekton. I feel like it drags way too much pressure to the top lane for this Vi. And even then, can Vi realistically gank Cassante with Renekton? Like, I imagine, sort of, but I don't know. What's your opinion? Because they can kill him, but it's gonna be a bit annoying.
For sure. For sure. I mean, Renekton pick is like maybe the... I'm really sorry, guys, but I really wished for them to pick Gwen. I know it's not my world, but maybe there's a chance they send Renekton against Akali. Is that even a thing? But I think Akali smashes Renekton, right? So I'm not sure. But with the
Yeah.
shroud and stuff and magic damage, I don't know. I think Renekton doesn't win that either. So yeah, Renekton definitely maybe a safe pick. He wasn't blinded, so he kind of knew he's into Cassante, and I would have really liked that Gwen. He could have played weak side and really gave up everything and still be useful in this type of match, while we focus entirely on mid and bot lane. Renekton will need that help. Despite being a very aggressive champion, he is aggressive for a reason. You want to get ahead and you want to push down this top lane. And yeah, if we're not able to accomplish that, Renekton is going to do a little work here. Now, there is some good news up with this Renekton pick. He's very good into Wukong. Now, I think Gwen would have been equally as good, because Wukong really faces trouble against magic damage. But anytime Wukong is going to try to find this engage, and he is their main engage here, Renekton can pretty much almost 100 to 0 him, or he's going to be very hard for Wukong to like stay in that range. Just because of how Renekton deals out his damage is very mixed, and a lot of like percent health oriented with Eclipse and items like this. Poppy though is such a strong counter to this Eversio lineup. It's really how you say, like a masterclass of what support should be. Last pick support here from Venomcrest, and they're doing it right. They found a champion that either helps their team or hard counters the enemy team. And I think this Poppy here, countering Renekton, Rel, Azir, Vi, all these champions really rely heavily on that dash or being in. I'm really seeing like if Vi goes in or Azir goes in, Renekton goes in, Poppy can just ult them away, or worse, if like let's say he gets more value like Renekton and Rel get knocked away, it's really gonna be looking like a really hard fight, because then you have Akali, Cassante, Wukong really locking down, destroying a single champion, giving Jinx that reset, and setting up for the objective. So I think Poppy here, very strong champion. I really liked the Eversio went for Rel though, because he really needs something to help this Vi from just going in. I think he does have a lot of help though. We have Azir, we have Rel, we have Virus. We could be seeing these really nice wombo combo type of situations. Once again, at a high level of play, it's draft is important, but it's really how you play them, how you play the matchups, what are your strengths, and how you make use of them that's going to dictate this game. I don't think any other team has a particularly better or worse draft. I like Venomcrest a bit better. It seems a bit easier to pilot, I think. But Eversio definitely have tools to carry them through the early game and take them to that mid to late game fantasy. Definitely possible. What do you think,
Yeah,
Nano?
I think I agree completely. I don't think any team particularly has the advantage outside of the fact that Venomcrest's comp is simply easier to execute. Azir, of course, historically known as one of the hardest mids to pilot, if not one of the hardest champs to pilot. There was a reason. I think it was the only reason why Faker was even benched back when SKT had Easy Hoon on their team, because he simply could not learn to pilot the champ fast enough. And that's honestly a bit of a problem. We're gonna need to see Starforger playing Azir at a very top level, because in this comp that they've now drafted, it is going to be very, very focused on, will this Azir stay even, or even maybe somehow get ahead? And it can be done. Akali is not particularly a horrible matchup for Azir. It's actually a relatively playable matchup when compared to everything else. And so will we see Azir slowly scale into, like you said, this crazy mid-late fantasy where you will just be dealing insane damage with your soldiers? Or will Wukong, will the Poppy sort of keep pressuring the Azir? Will Akali find a kill here and there? And will this Azir sort of just fall off into obscurity? And man, it's like you're saying, like it's still a very playable comp, but the same way I disagree with you, I'm not sure if Renekton was the play here. Because I feel like we need to make this bind needs to make sure that this Azir doesn't fall behind, and to some extent also that the Varus does not fall behind.
Oh yeah, if
Like
Azir gets fed here, it's like pretty very
the,
very good for Eversio. Like such a good
if
champion.
Azir gets fed, the game is arguably over. I mean, if Starforger plays Azir well and he gets fed, he wins. That's so. Again, I'm gonna be. It's a very, it's gonna be a very action-packed game. I think the winner won't be decided by 15, but we'll see very much who has a very high chance of winning by 15. You get what I'm trying to say? I feel like you'll very much be able to tell who's most likely going to win. So it's gonna be an action-packed game. I'm excited.
Yeah, a few minutes away from actually starting as well. Not even minutes. We're sitting on 30 seconds here before the game goes. So I'm gonna quickly share my screen for you. And
I will say this, by the way, if they picked Vi over Zac, knowing that they're going to be counterpicked by Poppy, that's actually big brain. I will say that much. It is genuinely big brain.
all right. So we are here, guys. Hashtag Everwin. Let's see it. So game starts here. Let's fix it up. Square and this. Alright, let's give it up for Eversio. Come on, guys. This is a big match for us. Winning this is really good for our morale. They are a really strong team. We're up against the favor to win this tournament in general, so very looking forward. They find an invade here, but not much coming out of it here. Frey is pretty much taunting them, laughing at them. We see a ward being dropped here on Eversio's blue buff. Starforger did go for it. He also went for the Grasp of the Undying build here on this Azir. So he feels like he will need it to help him get a bit healthier, not let the Akali take him down. We do see though, frick, what's their name? I really need to write it down somewhere. Is it Serpents? Oh my gosh, I hope I don't mess this up. But yeah, we do see them It's Venom,
Venomcrest,
Venom, Venom,
Venomcrest,
Venom, Venom. No, no, no,
Venomcrest.
no snakes are here. Okay, so we do see
No,
Venomcrest invading versus jungle, dropping some deep wards there. Most notably there, we have a ward here to see if we are gonna be lane swapping. Another ward on Raptors just to see where Bracone is starting. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
like you said, we do have the Grasp here. We are playing full scaling. We want that extra HP. And again, if you're playing into Akali, you will proc it over and over. Meanwhile, we actually see lethal tempo on Vars. So we're actually seeing on-hit Vars, not poke 8 lethality Vars. So this makes somewhat sense when you consider the fact that they do have a Sante, they have a Wukong, they have a Poppy, they have an Akali. These are all champions that sort of want to walk into you. And so here we're playing sort of this catch Varus rather than this poke Varus, where we're letting the enemy team sort of engage into us. And then we're just gonna slowly whittle them down. We're gonna use our Altis Peel, place the E for some anti-heal. And we're just gonna slowly chip away the health bars with this Azir and this Varus. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I think it's a very smart adaptation from Iconic. Man, on hit bears. That's something you don't see every day, though.
It's a strong champion. I think it's also the preferred style that Iconic tends to go for. It's really rare that I've seen him go the lethality option. Iglos though doing really well though here against this Cassante, so it might be something that he knows that we don't. We got a short trade in bot lane. Seems like Eversio are on the short end of that. Jinx really making it hard for Iconic to lane at the moment. Oh, Starforger caught without mana. He's getting quite low. He should be scared of this. A flash Q from Akali could take him down. He is playing within that range.
Forger, like you said, getting dangerously low. As we do see, Awaken also getting caught out in the bot lane. Very nice W engage from Awaken waiting for the W, but I think that's a misplay, yeah, and it just ends up being a kill over for basically free to Venomcrest's bot lane. As we do see, like you said, a flash over by the Akali. Versio misplaying a tiny bit, playing a bit too aggressive with how they drafted their comp. Looking for these kills when realistically we should
Nice
just be looking
play
for
here
scaling.
by Iconic.
Point
Good
gets
job there.
annihilated.
Yeah, neutralizing that. Honestly, man, I've no clue how we made these two mistakes there. They seem like very sort of low expected things that I've never seen them do before. So I really hope the nerves aren't getting to them. It's certainly not getting to Iconic though, as he did play that perfectly. Retaliating, getting a kill for himself there, even now slightly out CSing his lane opponent.
That is something you really are happy to see. I mean, Varus being able to pick up that kill there does in a way save Eversio's bot lane from falling behind quite a bit. As we do see Starforger, he is again just getting a bit too dangerously low. The wave is pushing into him, so he will at least be able to hopefully just farm up this wave, but a bit aggressive and dangerous for having died in most of his TP already. He does seem to be actually shoving the wave in.
He does not have flash, guys. He really needs to pay attention and not overextend at the moment. Without flash, especially against this Akali, it's going to be really tough on him if he gets frozen. Like, look at this. He's really in that kill range, isn't he? If Akali has full rotation of spells, Starforger could be going down yet again, but he does respect it, noticing her cooldown. So it's good to see that he is paying attention to that. Meanwhile, both junglers seem to be on similar pace here. We've yet to see the first gank here. Bracone is on his Raptors. Starforger.
Very nice little dodge by Starforger, although he still has to be careful. The R2 is still up. That backing under base is not something you would exactly like to see, but I think Bracone will just pick up the kill on the Akali. He does miss, but I mean, it's going to be a kill. She can't walk through. Her model's too big. And that will actually be a kill onto the Azir, which ends up being better for them than if Bracone picked it up, so...
Yeah, definitely.
Happy accident there.
I'd like to see more of Bracone. I mean, I'd expect 5-pick not to be so farm oriented. If he's just going to play it like this, that Wukong will definitely outscale. And it won't happen slowly either. It will happen very soon. So we really need to see a bit more action here. We see grubs started here by Venom's jungler, as Bracone is there to show. Now, will Igloss and Starforger be able to help? Not
Raze
really sure
baited
about this
Brickun
one.
in there. As we see bot lane, a fight does break out. The Varus flashes in, trying to at least trade in a kill, but he autos a minion.
Oh my. In the meanwhile, the jungler goes down. Flash by Awaken wasted. Oh, so many things went into this bot lane, and it is Jinx getting a double kill. Sadly, champion that you really don't want to see getting that double kill, but Eversio did manage to take down Phrase here on Wukong and secure 2 out of the 3 grabs. Can't really call it a win. It's kind of like the same thing, but it's really bad that this Jinx is getting ahead already in this game. Already finishing that BF sword too, so if it was unplayable before, it's definitely unplayable now. So tough, so tough. Wasted a lot of things here just to take down this Poppy, which I'm pretty sure Venom would have been happy with too. Let's see it here. Iglos though holding his own in the top lane, but I fear it might not be enough to win this victory. Just being able to hold the lane against Cassante just ensures he will outscale you later on, especially. And we already kind of are seeing it now as Cassante goes all in on Iglos. He is slowed. He will find the second slow, and now Q3 is available. This could spell death for Iglos. It sadly will look like it is the case. So there goes that matchup. Cassante will take that kill over Renekton. Iglos going down. Gold wise, we are not that far away. It's only 1k, but I fear that that k is actually going to be on this Jinx at the moment. Um, and yeah, it's almost the case, about 800 gold there for this Jinx. Let's see who takes this next dragon. What do you think, Nano, of the current state of the game?
I mean,
How's
Eversio
it
are
looking?
playing just too aggressive for the comp that they have drafted. We're drafting a Zir on-hit Varus, guys. We cannot play to this aggressive extent. I mean, bot lane a bit kill hungry. Both players flashing in. They do end up killing the Poppy, but you know the Jinx does end up picking up a double kill, which is the last thing you want. Brickun, like you said again, I mean, he's playing Vi. To be blunt, how you would play a champion like Azef, you would expect him to just play more aggressively, not let this Wukong just slowly build the lead through farming, because he will of course get eventually outscaled. And man, it is it's rough. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't rough. This Renekton, now that he's died once,
Oh,
again, we need
meanwhile,
the champion work.
Awaken and Iconic somehow finding a really reasonable amount of damage there on Poppy, but we do see the remainder of Venomcrest all rotating down both sides. We see Akali and Wukong on the way. Luckily, Eversio are able to react accordingly and back off. Meanwhile, in the top lane though, Iglos really having a hard time here against this Cassante. It is the pick that we expected to go best for them. Iglos going in though, finding a lot of damage here onto Bust. They are both getting taken low. It's a matter of ability cooldowns, and Iglos does get the short end of the stick there. That's really not what you want to see your Renekton doing at the moment. Definitely gonna be a rough game here with Renekton getting so low. Let's be hopeful that Iconic and Starforger can tear things around for Eversio. They're gonna be their main damage dealers.
It was a bit of a small outplay, a little micro outplay by Bust, baiting in the Renekton, not letting them know that he did in fact have a cookie there, and that little bit of HP. What's the difference? Is Iconic's gonna die here probably to Phrase. He does get flashed on. And man, I mean, it's like we were saying in draft, this Renekton pick is so difficult to draft here, because if he does not get ahead and he falls behind at any point in the game, like he has now,
Yeah.
the jungler is sort of stuck to him, or else he's going to be a sandbag for the
Yeah.
rest of the game.
The issue with Renekton is even if he did get ahead, you still want jungle pressure to take down the turret, etc. Imagine he was a Gwen with the current KDA. You'd be not too scared of it. I would assume, because you can still come in with a nice ultimate or with one or two items, while Renekton tends to fall off the later the game goes. So if we're losing now, definitely gonna have a harder time later. Brickun is first on spawn here, but I don't think we're reading this carefully enough. We do have two mid lane, but the remainder of Venomcrest are here. We're kind of split up in the map, and Venomcrest take advantage of that.
Like, you do not win that, Iconic. You do not win that.
He also was tanking a lot of minions there in the meanwhile.
I mean, realistically speaking, a 3-1 Jinx with BF and the Berserker's Grease, when you're tanking 2 waves of minions, is just not something you're realistically going to win. Even with barrier. And
Oh
here,
my gosh.
I just break out here.
A
The Azir ult
nice,
is good. It does separate.
yeah.
Of course, Akali can stall. This will be a dead Poppy, but this Cassante is dangerous. He will jump and focus. The jungler, he's picking up a double. Starforger probably also getting low. Awaken will probably fall inside of him. Starforger does manage to escape with his life, but that is a 3-for-1. Man,
Yeah, it's
let's
just a
see.
matter of the team fight and how it's being played. Renekton there, to my knowledge, did not have his first item as well. He does get caught out, but enough damage to trade a kill. A beautiful art from Starforger, but they were like one back away from maybe being able to take that fight effectively, as we do see items being complete right now after falling, basically. There's a slight error in how they were anticipating this fight, in my opinion. Imagine they stalled the game to this point and would have had that item on the back. That fight could have definitely been in their favor and they start winning this game. Meanwhile, that iconic death does hurt a lot. Yuntal's now complete on this Jinx. It's gonna be even harder for Eversio's bot lane to face in the moment.
We are affecting a Bork rush on the Varus. Bork, of course, a bit of a nerfed item. I don't realistically think that on-hit Varus can play a different item here. He has to face the Cassante basically alone until this Azir scales up. But man, it is not something you enjoy seeing where you're playing a less than gold efficient item in a lane that you're already behind on against another hyperscaler. So man, it's very rough for Eversio's side lanes here. Mid lane's actually doing relatively well. He is, of course, 20 CS behind, but that is CS which you are willing to lose.
Yeah, it's more
Man,
just top lane that's the problem in my opinion. He is getting some help now from Brickun. Will this be enough though to take down the Cassante? It does seem lucrative. That shield coming out, Aigos falling low, he will get taken down. That's such a huge loss though for Eversio. The shutdown does go to Brickun, but the 1-for-1 trade. Meanwhile, Awaken and Iconic are now fighting. The engage found by Iconic, but he is getting taken down to half health by proving a points Jinx here. Iconic trying to find the damage, but realistically it's very hard to trade into this Yunta's Jinx, which is kind of like a mini hail of blades on top of the crit chance. Meanwhile, Starforger gets engaged on from face. A nice ult sends him into the turret, but he's just gonna decoy over and use the second part of his ult, securing the kill on Starforger. So this Trinity Force Wukong is already scaling very hard. And meanwhile though, somehow Brickun went down as well. I didn't really catch that. I would assume that was that Akali that roamed top lane. That did take down Brickun as well, so realistically even the kill we got was not beneficial. First target going down here for this Jinx is gonna pop off, no problems at all. I'm pretty sure Awaken does get caught here as well, trying to get vision on this Dragon. It's really dominoing very badly towards the end here. It's been about 3 minutes of constant losses all around the map without stop. Here turret, man, like it's every single play.
What in the Looney Tunes is going on, man?
They even took Dragon during all of that. Like Venom really turned on the nitrous oxide here. We had a kill top lane by the Cassante, and then Akali killed Brickun. We saw Starforger falling down to Phrase. We saw our bot lane heroes, Iconic and Awaken, falling there to the Jinx as well, and Poppy getting another kill. They took Dragon, they took bot lane turret, they took top lane turret, they took mid lane turret now. Wow, I have no words. I'm really doubting the potential to win this game at the moment, especially after all that.
It's 15 minutes, and I mean, like I was saying, you can easily tell here who has the higher chance of winning. Eversio just didn't have to play this aggressive, this looking for kills. I mean, maybe the Vi should have played this slightly more aggressive, but we cannot play this way if we draft this full scaling mid game comp. If our fantasy is reaching those 2-3 item spikes and then playing towards this insane late which we're gonna have, we have to just be willing to accept that we're gonna lose some CS, we're going to lose some Drakes, we're gonna lose some Grubs, and just not take these progressively worse and worse fights. I mean, it's so difficult now for any of Eversio to come back into the game. The Azir, maybe, still has a chance of doing something, but man, this Renekton is just out of the game. This bot lane is just out of the game. Realistically, this Vi is out of the game, as I don't think she realistically functions without a strong follow-up, and we do no longer have a strong follow-up.
Yeah, and what's sad about it is that Iconic really was playing well in the earlier parts of the game as well. Let's see if they can take down this Cassante. It's a lot of damage coming out from Iconic. He does have Blade of the Rune King as well. Already half health here for Bust, but his ult is available. He's a very fat Cassante. Luckily, Brickcoon was there to secure the kill. So at the very least, this Cassante will bleed. He will fall. Eversio do pick up the kill. It will be Brickcoon securing that for his team, and Rift Herald was taken in the meanwhile. So all in all, not a big loss here by Venom. While the mid lane
It's a very
turret
good
is
catch
also
on the
good.
Cassante. It's a very good catch on the Cassante. It is a shame that the Vi is the one who picks up the kill, but it's plays like that, which is what you want to see from Eversio. These more guaranteed 3 vs 1 slow plays where you just slowly whittle away at them, and through decent macro, that's how you're looking to get an advantage with this comp. Man, it is such a damn shame that we've actually reached this point. Now, there are still plays that can be made that can slowly bring them back. The Renekton, realizing that he's very behind, has rushed the Black Cleaver to at least act as the shredding machine. His ult, of course, each instance procs Black Cleaver, so he's able to remove quite a bit of armor from the enemy team. And maybe that's going to be the difference between this Vi and this Spheres actually dealing enough damage to kill them. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It's very hard for Versio to come back in this game. They are relatively... I mean, they're not relatively behind, they're incredibly behind. But again, I wouldn't completely count them out. They are still playing this very strong scaling comp. Who knows if Venom does not actually close out this game fast enough, there is a chance for them to come back.
Yeah, it's rough. I would expect Venom have to play somewhat bad as well in order for Versi to find those opportunities. And so
Completely.
far, Venom have really played pretty well to the point where they need to play. Meanwhile, though, we do find an engage here on Phrase, who will be at least taking something here, as they do find this top side red buff. Cassandra, though, happy to push for that top lane tier 2 turret. He might be under danger, though. 3 members of Eversio are pathing towards there, but it is very well warded, enough for him to realize that he could be in peril here.
He seems to still be pushing up.
Yeah, we're also leaving this Jinx here to automatically push down bot. Bust does find an engage on Iconic, but he will eventually... Hello? Okay, he does get eventually taken down. Iconic did not fall, that was a very close one. Meanwhile, Starforger decides to test his luck there, 3v1 against the remainder of Venom. He sadly is not able to secure that wave and he will get taken down. He's going for an interesting build. Leandri is into what could be Riftmaker. Not really sure if that's the right call in this case, but he does want to survive a bit longer. And,
It's either Riftmaker or what's it called? The Curse item. The one that reduces the AP Black Cleaver. But like you're saying, it's a bit of an interesting build. I feel like Nash's would have maybe just functioned a tiny bit better, but he might value the health, like you're saying, a bit more. I would like to just point out one thing. And this is a bit sad to see. The Jinx has already completed her 2-item core and she's building her 3rd item. I think at this point of the game, they may be able to just run down mid and end the game on the side of Venom. If there's one thing I'm scared of, if I am Venom, it's having a very good catch with Azir into a mispositioned team fight. So I've been cooking up in my brain trying to find ways where Eversio can come back, and it's either continually finding these catches on Bust and giving them to our carries so that they can sort of try to get their item spikes a bit faster, or it's playing around a certain way with Azir's ult to sort of misposition certain team members on the side of Venom. As we do see a team fight here breaking out. Bust does jump on the Renekton. Iglos is in big trouble. Brickcoon will get bursted by the Akali. The Varus ult does come out, will pick up the Akali. Very big shutdown onto our Varus. Starforger is trying to deal as much bleed as possible. Bust is half health, but he's currently in his all-out mode, so he's incredibly strong, lots of true damage. He may just dive. He may just dive Iglos. He does. Where's the Showmaker copy pasta? As we do see, Starforger does get caught out by Poppy E. And man, I am a tiny bit disillusioned. Very nice little ult, but the W and E from Phrase does come out, and man, it's oof. I don't want to say it's over, but it's very hard now. It was at least a nice shot down onto the Varus, but
yeah, and it's only 11k gold lead. It's not like that's game defining or something. But yeah, Venom have the remainder of their turrets. All their turrets are up, nice, shiny and sparkly. Fairly healthy too. Atakan is up as well. Lot of options. Soul Point is available for Venom. Yeah, looking really nice for them. I'll have to admit. This Jinx is like literally like 10 cents away from her third item. And what else? Let's see. We have Black Cleaver complete on Wukong as well. It's gonna really help this Jinx. Akali getting Magi's as well in a professional game format makes sense. Eyegloss here finishing that Sterak's though. It's kind of a big purchase. To be honest, if there's ever a time to fight, it's probably gonna be when this Varus completes Ginsu's. Starforger is caught between a rock and an Akali. Let's see how he fares against it. He does his best to take her down low, but sadly no ult available, and Akali does shut him down. Awaken finds a engage here on Poppy and Jinx, but let's see, he does get knocked up with a teleport of Cassandra coming out through. Awaken does get taken down. Jinx is here with a reset as well. The ult gets dropped down. Eyegloss taking some time to go down. Iconic sadly does follow, so no damage here will be from Eversio. Brickcoon is next to follow on this Jinx rampage basically. Wukong is safe to tower dive here. His entire team is there, and this could be the end, dear viewers. 22 minutes. Jinx has her reset. They do find the bot lane turret, and Jinx finishing off this mid lane wave as if that's gonna make a difference. But he's trying his best to get as much farm as possible. Meanwhile, Starforger is up. His ult is available, but as you can see, the damage is really negligible. Freeze though gets taken down by the turret, and the Cassandra does follow as well. Open Nexus though as Awaken and Starforger fall to Akali and Jinx. Iconic is here to try and back them off, but Jinx in the meanwhile has that DPS on the Nexus. It's a good gameplay to Venom. I'd like to say some nice things about Eversio, but honestly this has to be one of our weakest showings. Hopefully there's a lot to learn, a lot to milk from a game like this. To be fair, we were making a lot of notes about the Gwen. I'm not really sure Gwen would have saved this game, even if it was the case, but yeah, we really tried.
I don't think any champ would have saved this game.
Sorry?
I think the one takeaway from this game is oi oi oi. Yeah, like you said, I mean the Gwen, it may have helped in allowing for like any other champion who sort of is able to side lane Vi focusing towards their mid bot, making sure that they do not fall behind. But I mean, it was just a few too many mistakes, few too many bad fights here and there that I think just caused the game to spiral out of control. I was around the 13-14 minute mark, you know, where they died top. They did 1-for-1 as the dive. Then Brickcoon got finished by the Akali. Then they lost Ray. Then the fight mid-hap. And then Starforger got caught. I mean, at that point, the game sort of just snowballed into control, and you can't really do much. It's a bit of a shame. You know, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't have much else to say.
They are favored of this event. If that's maybe sort of a saving grace for some reason. My camera is not working. Let's see if I can go. Yes, okay. So yeah, they are the preferred team to win this event, to be fair, and they did prove it. There was a series of events that really took my breath away from a casting perspective, because there was a lot of things to say. We saw at least minimum 6 to 7 like plays all around the map. It was kills top to bot and like objectives and like 2 turrets. It was a bit nuts. So yeah,
We're watching a replay or a highlight reel, man.
it literally felt like it was the case. But I luck for next time. Definitely some things to brush up on, especially with this kind of comp. I'd like to see maybe a bit more from Starforger playing these maybe champs he's not more familiar with, but he is facing the best. After all, this Akali was challenger at one point, and better luck for next time. Yep, until as Cardona cast says. Oi, oi, oi. Yep, we have some people complaining about our moderation in chat. But I mean, what do you expect when you are talking politics? Oi, oi, oi. So yeah, behave, guys. Behave, guys.
We're playing league, guys. Focus.
Yeah.
Play league.
Yeah, for sure, and it's always the same people. Tisk. So, any last words, Nano, before we wrap things up here with our viewers?
I mean, thank you for having me. It's a shame I seem to have brought the bad luck curse with me, and you know, the game didn't go as favorable as we had as it could have. Although I will say, at least, I mean, there were a few moments there, but highlights like at least the very much Bears catching a little kill here, Waking getting a pretty nice W in the mid game. Again, like you're saying, it's playing against the favorite to win. So I mean, you can't really expect the best. That said, I think what everyone's hoping is hopefully we pick up. Like you're saying, this is still a bit of a new team. We have Star Forger going back to mid lane. We have the new bot laners. So I mean, maybe a bit of adaptation, maybe a bit of more practice, but we'll see. I still have faith in Eversio.
Of course.
It is of course a shame.
Fate will stay. If it's not this time, we'll get Division 1 next time. All right. Something will happen. We'll figure it out. Grantless is blaming you, Mr. Nano. So
He's right, man. It's the curse. I brought it with me, man. I brought it with me. What can I say?
They got Nano diffed, and the other losses because you are watching, or what's the? No. We need to bring it back for sure. We need to go back to the drawing board, and see what we can adapt and change. Until then, thank you to all who have joined us today on this casting journey. Our next match is on Thursday. We still have a few more games to go, so good luck, Eversio. We need your support, guys. We see Ghost Busy here saying we need Hido AD carry back with Eversio. To be fair, I mean, come on. Iconic did such a good job here. Would have Hido changed this outcome? Realistically speaking, I don't know. I find that hard to believe, but yeah, for sure he's one of the best players in Malta. But yeah,
maybe the game was sold for under 2 minutes before they lost.
Yeah. Iconic did really well.
I think what they really need is Eversio used to have this jungler which they never lost a game with when he was on their team.
Oh, we're blaming Birkun now. Oi. Just say jungle diff as usual. I'll go
Just say jungle diff as usual.
We'll let the team figure it out and discuss it further as they go along. It's not our place, but yeah. You guys need, as we see the Eversio manager here saying we need Jesus. So that's official, guys. Coming from the big boss himself, we need Jesus. Yes, we definitely do.
Stepion flex Pikuena.
Nah. Yeah, but please do join us on Thursday. Let's not give up hope. We'll catch up soon. Maybe we do need Akshan, Mick, since you don't play this game. Akshan is League's Jesus, for sure.
He revives people and he's Middle Eastern with long hair. He's Jesus.
Xet jgħid għal-magnesium klorida. Oj. Fiex aħna. Mela, thank you guys. Good night. See you all on Thursday. Thank you, Nano, for joining me for this casting.
Thank you for inviting me.
And better luck to Eversio. We'll always root for you guys. And yeah, looking forward to your next games. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, bye.